Good afternoon everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, let's do a walk around and tour of the 2022 Lincoln Nautilus Reserve. The Nautilus is going to be Lincoln's mid-size SUV in their lineup, which also consists of the compact Corsair and a larger Aviator. The Reserve trim is also going to be one of the more upper trim levels in the lineup, and that's going to consist of a pretty nice interior, a uniquely accented grille, 18-inch wheels, as well as 2 digital displays. With that being said, a huge thank you to Bob Thomas Pre-Owned, which is a part of the Thomas Auto Group here in McKinney, Texas, for giving me some time on this one today. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get started. As you can see, the key is going to be your typical Lincoln key fob and has a nice little weight to it. You have your controls on this side, followed by the Lincoln star on the other side here. It's going to have your lock, unlock, remote start, your trunk release, and your panic button. To remote start the Nautilus, just make sure the vehicle is locked, and push down and hold the remote start button twice, and the engine will start right up. When you're finished, just double click the remote start button again, and the engine will shut itself off from there. Starting off here in the front of the vehicle, this one being the Reserve trim level, you're going to get, like I said, a nicely accented chrome grille, and as you can see, it does have a little silhouette of the Lincoln emblem coming across the 2 sides here, which look very nice. You have that Lincoln star front and center, followed by a front-facing camera. And when you pound a little bit, it does give it that luxurious and premium look as expected from a Lincoln product. You also have your front parking sensor standard on this Reserve trim as well. And on top of that, you have your standard LED daytime running lights, as well as LED headlamps, and your turn signals are going to be right down here below. Checking out your wheels and tires on this one, we're taking a look at a set of Yokohama YK CTX tires on 20-inch wheels. These measure 245 50R20s all the way around. Coming over to the door, this vehicle does have a smart key access system, allowing for easy access to the exterior as well as the interior. By having the key fob in your pocket and come to the door handle, there's a touch sensor inside. Put your hand in, the vehicle will unlock, allowing you to jump on inside. And then when you're finished, close it up, tap this button here, one beep will indicate locking, and the mirrors will fold back in. The exterior color of this one is finished off in Asher Gray Metallic Tintcoat with the roast leather interior. Coming over to the door panels, you can see you're going to have some hard touch rubber injection plastic on top of here. However, you do have some softer material down here. You have this piano black material coming across the door panel here, which is very nice. Aluminum door handle, your unlock and lock switches, 3-person memory seating. You do have your power mirror controls, as well as your power windows. You have a small storage pocket down here, as well as an area for a small cup holder. About the smart key access system, the Nautilus does come standard with push button ignition. By having the key fob in your pocket or within your person, just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to go. Very nice. The Lincoln Nautilus does come standard with a fully leather wrapped vacuum PN powered steering wheel with controls on the left as well as on the right sides. Left side is going to consist of your seat and track as well as your volume controls. You do have cruise control down here as well as some safety features. To the right, we're going to have a back button here for our instrument cluster as well as this control switch here for instrument cluster. We also do have our hands-free telephone controls, display button here, audio button right here, settings as well as navigation settings right there. Now coming up here to this screen, we're taking a look at a fully digital instrument display disclosing 2 main gauges. To the left we have our tachometer, to the right we have our speedometer. Down at the bottom we have our coolant temperature, gear selection, as well as our fuel gauge. And right in the middle is the mirror driver information center consisting of our compass, exterior temperature, as well as our fuel economy. As you can see, we're taking a look at our average. And then on the very top of that is going to be what's playing on your audio system. You can cycle through a couple different things here on this screen via the steering wheel, and they do include your fuel economy average. You do have eco behaviors, auto start-stop, tire pressure monitoring system, power distribution, blank page, trip one information, and then back to your fuel economy once again. Coming over here, just like what we see in the new Ford products, we're taking a look at a 12 0.3-inch display, and as you can see, it looks really, really nice in here. And it's going to be running off of the Android Automotive interface as well, or basically the Lincoln experience as they call it. As you can see, we're taking a look at our audio system, and as you can tell, it does look really, really nice and easy to use. Now, with that being said, of course, taking a look at what we're seeing here, we have our station, what's playing right there, seek and track right there and there, sources as well as direct tune, and our sound adjustments there. We have our audio presets down here, followed by our submenus down at the very bottom. With that being said, of course, this vehicle does have AM radio, Sirius XM radio, Bluetooth audio, and stuff of that nature. You also have Apple CarPlay in it and Android Auto compatibility. When we go to our sound here, we can adjust things such as our tone settings, balance and fade, speed compensated volume, as well as our occupancy mode. And with that being said, moving right along here, we do have our phone, which is where we'll be able to add a phone to the vehicle via the Bluetooth system. We do have our navigation system, which as you can see, it's loading up nicely. And it's going to be very similar to what we see in the Ford product, except this is a lot nicer looking and a lot more, I would say, more formal. As you can see here, it definitely adds a nice touch to it. It's well detailed and it looks really, really good. You're going to have where you can search for destinations here, save destinations as well as favorite destinations. This right here is going to be for your navigation menu, which includes your map orientation, voice, traffic on map, avoid en route, show on map, weather, as well as more settings. Overall, though, it does look really nice. Favorites is where you can actually drag any of these particular tiles and just drag them down here, and that will become your favorite. So you can choose from a selection of these different tiles here, as well as on this side as well. Coming over to our apps, as you can see, we do have 5 mobile apps, our Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as well as our mobile apps help. And then we come up to our settings here, which consists of our radio, add phone, sync navigation, sound, vehicle, clock, personal profiles, as well as general. You do have display, Lincoln Personal Assistant, connectivity, vehicle hotspot, mobile apps, software updates, ambient lighting, owner's manual, and then our 911 assist and our valet mode. Now, I'm not going to go through every single function because that would probably end up taking about 10 to 20 minutes to do, but I'm just going to go through a few key ones so that way whenever you end up purchasing a vehicle like this, you'll have an idea of what you're getting yourself into. So starting off with our radio, we do have a radio text which you can adjust as well as our preset pages. We do have our vehicle settings here, which consist of different things that you can change up, as you can see, which includes our auto stop start, rear occupant alert, our door keypad code, our rear view camera delay. Come over to our sound. This is where we were just a while ago. We do have our general settings here, which consist of our language, distance, units of measurement, our touchscreen beat, as well as software information at the very bottom, and then a factory reset. Come over to this side here. We're going to go into our display. You can adjust the display here to turn it off or put it on a calm screen, adjust the brightness here, as well as our mode. Ambient lighting, so to allow you to select from a few key colors that you can choose from, and whenever it's dark at night, you're actually going to see the colors come to life. So in the sides of the seats, in the dash, and everywhere else that allows ambient lighting, you'll be getting in any of these colors here, which looks really, really cool. You do have your connectivity here for your Bluetooth, wireless app projection, Wi-Fi, as well as connected vehicle features. You also do have your 911 assist here, which is of course is going to allow you to, let's say you're in need of roadside assistance or emergency services, you just put that on and it will go into action once you do request 911 assist, which is very easy to use once you do use it for the first time. Now, we do have some other things to kind of go through real quick, and they include your valet mode. So basically what that does is that it's going to allow you to lock up certain functions of the vehicle so that way no one can access it. You can only access it via a PIN to enable it and disable it. Come over here to our vehicle hotspot. That's going to allow you to actually have hotspot in the vehicle. So if you don't have any connections like mobile data or anything like that, that can lead you to actually using that hotspot for actual connection within the vehicle, which is very nice to see. You do have software updates, which is going to offer over-the-air updates over time, so that way you'll be getting a better idea of how what you're getting into as far as the system, what's going to be updated with the system, and what things to expect when you get that update. Moving on from that, of course, we have our owner's manual where we can consult our owner's manual from inside of the vehicle versus doing it via the book. You have your mobile apps here, which we just went through. And then come back over here. Personal profile is going to deal with your profile setup. Sync navigation, as you can see, there was what we just went through a while ago on the navigation slide. And then you can add a phone to the vehicle via the Bluetooth system, as explained before. So with that being said, that's going to do it here for the settings portion in the infotainment system in the Lincoln Nautilus Reserve. Now over here, we do have our climate controls to where we can turn on our heated steering wheel, adjustments right here, and then our airflow right there. So overall, pretty cool to see. And so this is like our shortcut area here. So not only do we have our climate controls, we do have also navigation, phone, and then back to climate. So overall, pretty cool to see. Moving on down here, we do have some vents. We have our 10-speed automatic transmission with our auto stop-start function. And then this is where we'll have our sea of buttons, which consists of our volume knob and tuning knob, source button right here, seat track, hazard light right there, turn display off. And down here, this is where you'll be having all your climate control functions. So adjust the temperatures are going to be right here and here. Turn the AC off is going to be right here. You have heated and ventilated seats for the front and front passenger. You do have this knob here which adjusts the fan speed, which can raise it up or lower it if you want to. You have rear ventilation as well, which you can control from the front. You have AC controls here for standard AC to turn the AC or the fan off or on, and then max AC there, recycling, and then fan positioning. Below that, we do have a wireless charging pad right here, or you can charge via USB-C or USB port, and you can close this up too to kind of give it a cleaner and nicer look. We do have two cup holders here, and as you come on, make our way over to the glove compartment, open that up, you have a good amount of storage space inside on the top portion, which is a little bit small, but then underneath here, it's actually spacious, and you have an outlet inside as well. The seats themselves are pretty comfortable, and they're actually very supportive. As you can see here, this being the Reserve, it's, like I said, one of the upper trim levels, so you're going to be getting a nicer interior. Perforation is going to come way down the middle of the seat. You have some decent side bolsters, which is going to consist of just leather, and overall, the seat presentation does look pretty nice. Come over here to our glove box. It is going to be dampened, lined with felt, and you have a good amount of storage space inside. We have some more of that piano black material right here, followed by more of that soft touch material with some black stitching coming across the dash. And up here, we do have some hard touch plastic. Coming up here, we do have our mirror, followed up here with our controls for our overhead lights, as well as for our sunroof. We do have a sunglass holder right here, as you can see. Come over here, we do have our 3 garage home link system, as well as our sliding visor, a mirror, as well as some incandescent lighting. And then come over here to the left side, we do have controls for things such as our trunk, traction control off switch, gauge dimmer switch, headlight controls, and your gauge dimmer switches on the other side. So you have 2 of them, headlight controls, open up the trunk, and then your traction control off switch. And then down here is your electronic parking brake. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and continue the tour of the 2022 Lincoln Nautilus Reserve. Coming into the back of the Nautilus, materials do follow through, and it does look really nice back here. You do have 2 seat pockets, one on this side and one on that side. We do have rear vents. We have our rear heated seat functions down here. And then this is where you'll have your outlet, as well as a USB-C and USB port. You also have a pad armrest with 2 cup holders. This one here does have the Easy Fuel capless fill filler, making it easier to fill up at the gas station. And here's an illustration of how to do it. Coming into the cargo area of the Lincoln Nautilus, this is why I think it makes sense to go for the Nautilus over something like a Corsair. But if you're looking for something bigger, obviously you have the Aviator and of course the full-size Navigator. Now back here, you're looking at just around 38 cubic feet of space, which overall is not too bad for a vehicle like this. It actually does a pretty decent job. And then when you fold down the second row of seats, which you can do right here, cargo space will then go up towards 67 cubic feet of space or so, which is not too bad for a vehicle of this size. Overall, pretty darn good. Now, since we're back here, we do have our controls to fold down the second row of seats. We do have a 12-volt outlet here. We do have an LED light here. And of course, underneath here, underneath this WeatherTech all-weather trunk liner, we do have where our spare tire would be kept, as well as our funnel for our fuel tank. When you're done, tap the button here, and it will close on automatically. Since we're back here, the Lincoln Nautilus does have an elegant looking rear end, LED taillights as expected. This all functions well at night. Lincoln spelled out across. You do have your parking sensors down here, as well as your dual exhaust tips. Under the hood of the Lincoln Nautilus, we're taking a look at a 2-liter turbocharged EcoBoost 4-cylinder engine. It produces 250 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. It's only made with a 10-speed automatic transmission, and this one here in particular is all-wheel drive. All right, guys, so back in the Lincoln Nautilus, it's actually a very nice and pretty sophisticated vehicle if you've never been in one before. Personally, I've never been in one, and I will tell you that I like this just as much, surprisingly, as a Lincoln Aviator. And then, of course, you do have that big one right over there, as you can see, that one being the new Lincoln Navigator, that being the black label, and that looks very cool on its own way. But in regards to the Nautilus here, this is a pretty good vehicle. It does give you a lot of creature comforts, a lot of luxury features, great technology, and of course, you do have a pretty potent engine under the hood and great utility. So with that being said, everybody, that's going to wrap it up here for the walk around and tour of the 2022 Lincoln Nautilus Reserve, finished off in Asher Gray Metallic with the roast leather interior. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.